right. Hey, what's up? It's DeDe in the Morning, host of DeDe in the Morning, a big national show now doing podcasts, everybody. Yes. I'm so excited. It's our second season of DeDe's Dope Podcast. Of course, we interview everybody who's dope, doing dope things and everything else. And this woman I'm excited about. I just found out something about her. I've been watching her, heard of her for years. She's been on the radio in Atlanta for years, been on TV. I see her in commercials, everybody. She started at LaFace Records. I got to get into this.
Yes.
Rashan Ali is here. I love it.
Clap, 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 clap. Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
Okay. I didn't know you started at LaFace.
I did. Actually, prior to that, I was Left Eye's personal assistant. I know.
Wow.
From TLC. And I did that for about a year, like literally almost right out of college. And then once we stopped working together, I had the opportunity to work in the music video department at LaFace Records and stayed there until L.A. Reid and Babyface sold it back to Arista. Like, so I was there on the latter part of the LaFace Records greatness.
Okay, so wait a minute. How do you go from college to being the assistant of a superstar? How do you get that job?
Well, that was nothing but favor of God. One of my friends was working at an insurance company. That insurance company president was on the phone with Ida Harris, who ran Left Eye Productions.
Okay.
And she was like, Left Eye needs a new assistant. Do you know anybody who'd be interested in doing that? So the gentleman hollers over to my friend like, hey, do you know anybody that's interested in entertainment? Do you have any suggestions? And she suggested my name. And I was still living home with my parents. So they called my house phone because that was before everybody really had cell phones like that. Called the house phone. My dad left a message for me on the bed, wrote the message out. Hey, Ida from Left Eye Productions called. Do you want to be Left Eye's assistant? And I looked at the paper. I was like, she burned down houses. I don't want to do that. I was scared. I was very scared. Like, no, I don't want to do that. But something in me told me, like, just try it out, And literally, like 2 days later, I was her assistant. It was one of the best times of my life. I learned so much from Lisa.
Why?
She was just
what did you learn the most that you could take away? Like you could tell us right now.
Well, that she was an incredible person. And I think that she was here before even she was supposed to be here.
Really?
Very, very talented, like beyond her own years.
Very deep? Was she a deep woman?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think I got to see at a young age what these artists really go through, like, and seeing how people leech on to them and how many people they're taking care of. Also, you see who's good and who's bad for them and like who has ulterior motives. And I remember she told me one time, and which I always just hold on to this. She was like, Rashan, I really, really like you because you are one of the only people around me that doesn't want anything from me.
Come on. What?
I'm in my 20s.
What?
I'm literally 22 years old. And a mega superstar is telling me that, So, but I came from a great upbringing and I never wanted for anything. So I'm not going to start wanting for whatever you have in that moment. I was just trying to soak up all of what I was kind of experiencing. And it was so much in a short amount of time.
It's interesting because, first of all, I'm going to tell everybody that Tamika Scott's going to join us later, right?
Yes,
here in the podcast.
Yes.
And I'm looking, she's going to join us here on video, and I noticed she's nodding her head. You were saying something when it comes to artists, what you were saying about Left Eye, and people always wanting something from them.
Yes.
People who are good for them
and not.
Because you see it when you're around celebs, you see how people act. Let me just say this real quick. I always tell people, them boppers, sometimes it'd be the men be worse than the women, number one. Sometimes you'll see that. Have you ever noticed?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is true. You got people who want to hang on to a celeb based on, but why, Rashan? Why do they want to hang on to celebrities like that?
I just think, a lot of people want to be by the celeb. How can they benefit financially? How can they benefit from just being in the crowd? I mean, I saw so much, really? In a little bit of time, like, wow,
really?
Wow. That was my first time ever flying first class and being in a limousine. I come from a middle class family, but we didn't do all those things. It was just like Red Lobster was, you better Friday night, Red Lobster, this is going to be it, So my first fine dining experience in New York was with her. My first time having wine and other things,
There it is. I like the other things.
You know what I mean? And other things, So
did you meet Dr. Is it Sebi?
Oh, yes, I did meet Dr. Sebi. Yes.
Sebi.
Yes, I met Dr. Sebi, which was, that's when she was first like exploring what it meant to be really healthy and just understanding how she was showing up in the spiritual realm. because she was tapped in,
Yeah.
especially near the end. She was very, very tapped in spiritually. So, you know, a lot of people were wondering, like, really what happened in Honduras? Like, because she was so close to so many of these answers that, you know, have been revealed later on because of Dr. Sebi's work and things like that. But she was really, really tapped in. She taught me a lot too.
Did you grow up, were you a religious? Did you grow up in the church?
I did grow up in the church.
But she was more spiritual, because we got to talk about the difference between spiritual
Baby,
and
we could go on and on about that, and I
what you're
love
saying,
it.
she's teaching you, even though you grew up in the church, what you're saying is she showed you and exposed you to something you had never seen.
Complete spirituality. And I didn't even know that she was almost opening the door for me to explore a little bit more and to be more receptive to it, because I'm totally spiritual now. Like my children, on Sunday mornings, we might be, you know, outside, or,
right. It's
you
not
know,
necessarily in the church, is what you're saying. You're not, because
I'm not.
Did you get turned off? Are you turned off by religion?
Wow. Come on, DeDe. That's how you doing it?
No, I mean, because
that's real. I like that. I'm not turned off by religion, but I don't feel like the Almighty God is so provincial in his or her thought. Don't give God a gender.
I agree.
That there would be only one way to reach this level of euphoria and salvation. Right. So when certain religions say this is the only way, and I'm just like, well, what about Shari in Budapest, or where I'm from? I looked up, you know, I did my DNA. I'm from Guinea-Bissau, West Africa, and we were, you know, my people were Muslim. You know what I mean? So what about those? So my mind just couldn't grasp that Jesus was the only way. I just couldn't. And I know a lot of people, you know, that is just me. Kindness is my religion. I live by kindness. I love that.
Kindness is my religion.
Yes.
I like that. You make me think about, there was a book I read a long time ago. It was by a lady named Betty Eadie. I saw her on Oprah Winfrey. It was called Embraced by the Light. And it was a woman who said that she had died on the operating table. And in it, it's a very thin book. You can read it. It's called Embraced by the Light. Anyways, in this book, she says that she died on the operating table, right? And she said, but in that moment, she said her body, she came up above, she saw the doctors operating on her body. She floated up to the ceiling. I'm just going to tell you all this real quick. She says that it was so light. Yeah. She said that her body felt like dirty overalls. Right?
Wow.
And so when she raised up, she said she could move around fast, and she moved and she saw her house, and she saw her daughters were fine, her children were fine, and her husband was fine, sitting in a recliner and all this stuff. And then she said she saw this pin of light. And when she sees this pin of light, she thinks it's just a pinpoint. But as she's getting closer to it, spiritually, she's feeling all this love. And she said she's overcome with it. And she now realizes this being is God in her book. Yes. Now, I don't know if it's real. Again, this is all up for you to, you know, read it yourself. Some people said that she was suspended in unconsciousness. Maybe she was in a coma, whatever. But she wrote it in a book called Embraced by the Light. But she said one of the things she said to him, she said it was so much love. She said it was God. Yeah. And she said, he told her, she said, he will go by whatever name you want to call him. Yeah. He goes by all these different names, that there's no one way to reach him.
All the things.
He's okay with that. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as long as you find him, the name is irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. Yeah. I just want people to just be open to whatever, and whatever works for you. And I'm not saying anything is wrong. I'm just saying what I do and how I show up. So what we're teaching our children, and specifically me, because my husband is more Christian, and so I want my girls to say, hey, mommy, if I want to go to church today, you want to go to church? That's fantastic. If you want to do yoga this morning, if you want to do meditation, if you just want to say thank you, God, for the day, all of that is still great. I love it. Because you recognize something greater than you, okay? But it doesn't have to be confined within four walls or even a book.
I love that. Okay, so listen, let's talk about you, because, you know, I follow you online.
Thank you.
And I met you through my good friend who's our producer, Nicole, who's over there. Look, you did Sister Circle.
I did.
How long did y'all do that?
We did it for almost 3 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah, almost 3 seasons.
Did you love
probably
it?
a little younger. What was the question?
Huh? Wait, what? Did I say something? I said, did you love it?
I loved it for a time.
Really?
For a short time. Yeah, I loved it because this was a dream of mine. Yeah. You know,
TV?
to be able television. And
a show like that?
Absolutely. So I would watch The View. I would watch Wendy. Like, I was like, you know what?
What?
That's me right there.
Yep.
And so I would literally watch those shows all the time. And I would say to myself, yeah, that's something that I really, really want. So when the opportunity presented itself, I was so very happy to get that.
Did you love it?
In the beginning, I did.
Why in the beginning? What happened in the end?
It was just time to move on.
Why?
It was time to move on because I think, you know, as a Cancer, I'm a Cancer woman. I love everything. I was just trying to fix too much.
Right.
I was trying to carry. I carried a lot of the show as the moderator.
You were.
But then I was also trying to make sure everybody was good behind the scenes too, like really giving of myself and my energy. And it was all to the point of depletion. Mm-hmm. And just to make sure that I wanted to make sure everybody was happy.
Did they get along okay. Here's I'm going to ask a real question. I have a morning show.
Right.
And I work with, I've worked with another female and two men. Mm-hmm. Or another female and a man. Mm-hmm. I will say this. There are times it can be difficult with women working together at times, right? Because, and you tell me, did you find it difficult? Sometimes. With an ensemble cast of women.
It wasn't as difficult as people would think it was. But there were times where I was like, this is a lot. This is a lot.
What was a lot? You know what I mean? Like
a lot of feminine energy at the same time. And then, everybody had their lives outside of Sister Circle. And a lot of times your life would come into the building. And so everybody had to kind of deal and navigate with those types of scenarios.
What about ego? You deal with a lot of ego with women? There's a lot of ego.
I mean,
and you got to walk. And here's the thing. You in your position as the moderator.
Yes.
And as the one who has to keep everybody together.
Right.
I'm sure you bit your tongue a lot, didn't you?
I'm biting it now.
Yeah, I know it, because you got holes in that thing, huh? That tongue it got holes. You trying to bite it so hard.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it's a lot. And so that is why I stopped liking it, because I am not good with dealing with all of that. I am one of those people that walks completely away from drama or anything that does not serve my spirit. So it was becoming like that. But I miss being able to have that type of platform to talk about certain issues. I miss each of them. I love them, like to no end.
But collectively, it got difficult.
I wouldn't say difficult, but it was just time it was time. I think when we got canceled, although I felt
You shouldn't have.
Well, we shouldn't have. But when we did, I gave myself 24 hours. And after that, I was very happy that we were over.
Really?
Yes.
So you were happy?
I got happy.
That's a nice paycheck, though, that you were giving up.
It was. But your happiness.
It matters more.
It's priceless. Happiness and money are just, they don't compare.
People don't realize that. Would you do it again, though, do another show with an ensemble cast of women?
It has to be the right amount of money. We were grossly underpaid. We were operating off of our pilot contracts. They never renegotiated with us. Mm-hmm. We never really had a real hiatus. So we're talking about coming up with content. We have producers, skeleton production staff who were grossly underpaid as well, coming up with content 5 days a week.
Wow.
And this is like 4 or 5 segments. Mm-hmm. This is not trash stuff. And so this was very difficult. It was very hard to do. And we were one of those shows that, kind of checked the box. It checked the box for the production company. The production company was Tegna. It was not TV One. People thought that TV One canceled us. No, they didn't. They were our cable partner. So Tegna canceled us.
Okay.
So when the pandemic hit, it gave them, good, we can get rid of these ladies. Yeah, because we demanded a lot. We were very vocal. And so
but can I tell you, we need it. We need it now. It was a vehicle for us.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? That we could watch, and all of our artists could get on, and we felt comfortable with. And the interviews, we understood when you asked them.
Most days were great. Let me just say that. Let me say that, because I don't want to put a different type of narrative.
But there was a lot of pressure too, and then the pay was not. I get why it was not as ideal as you'd like.
And then you're up there, and I was the first in the chair, so like you're out of your house at 4. You understand? 4:30 in the morning. But then it's different with radio and television. I mean,
because I don't have to get dressed. Exactly. I have to put on no makeup.
You're in the makeup chair. You're in the hair chair. You got wardrobe, every single day, which is what I pray for, which is why I had to stand in gratitude at all times, right? But then when it was like eating at my soul, I was like, this ain't good for me.
So, my mother always says this to me when I was a kid. She said, be careful what you wish for because it just may come true.
Yeah.
And so you got to be a little bit more, I'm a big believer in vision boards and focusing on what you want and writing down goals. So you do have to be really, really specific.
Like I wrote down, I want to be on a show where I show up every day, makeup, wardrobe, hair, all the things. But what I didn't say, with positive energy, everybody around in a loving environment where everyone is paid and everyone feels good about what they're doing. I didn't write that part.
Well, then cheers, girl. We're going to say that. We're going to stick that one into existence.
Right.
Let's
you know what I mean?
Then. There you go.
So that's what I think in the end is what was lacking. People were tired. People were tired of feeling abused.
Yeah.
We were tired of feeling. So you would see the View and the Real and the Talk and everybody having their vacations.
Right. And you guys couldn't.
And we are there every single day. No hiatus.
Can I tell you, I wish TV One would pick it back up.
Right.
I wish they would put something. You as the moderator would be just as great as you were.
We're going to see,
and get somebody else. Let's do it. Let's put that to the air. One of the things I love about you, by the way, I've been following you. And one of the things I love and I wish, and I always say it to my husband, I always say, I wish I had the focus and the discipline to change my body. I think it's so beautiful when I see people that can do that. And I watched you change your body and go completely. And do that. Like you did a competition.
I did three in a row.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about that focus. How do you get it? Where does that come from?
Well, I've been an athlete my entire life. So I started swimming competitively when I was 5 years old.
What? Wait. Can you swim like the way that man did at the Montgomery Brawl? You can get in that pool, that water,
I'm a little
swim
closer.
over to help.
I'm a little closer to like what Michael Phelps was like.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually can swim. He was fine. I'm glad he got over there. I'm glad he got over there. But I was like, what? Put your face in the water, breathe to the side. Kick, flutter click. You know, it was cool that he got over it. He made it.
He made it to that fight.
He made it.
All right.
So I started swimming year round at 10. And then, I was always in sports. My dad is a legendary retired high school football coach. He has a stadium named after him. My mom coached Pop Warner football, took a team to
Your mama coached?
My mom. Yes, she did. And she took a team to an undefeated season. So like I've just always been competitive. So I wanted to see, I'm like, I want to take my body to the next level. So that's why I did the competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like no eating hardly.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
No liquor.
Yeah, that part.
I wouldn't have been able to do this. Cheers to this goddamn champagne right now. Girl, I feel you.
So you do that.
How long did you train? How many months?
I started in February of 21. My first show was in July of 21. Then I did another one in November of 21. And my last show was in May of 22.
Wow. And so you have to cut out, you got to really be...
You literally eat the same thing every single day, like 4 to 5 times a day, but you change your diet based on what you're doing with your body.
So what did you eat almost every day?
It was cod, unseasoned.
Ugh.
Sweet potato, like maybe half. You have to like measure your food. And it would be an asparagus or a Brussels sprouts. Or then you'll have like ground turkey. If we're bulking up, I can have chicken breast. And then on sometimes like when he wanted to... I forgot exactly what we were doing at that phase, but like sometimes like closer to the competition, I would get to have like a steak or like a piece or like some lamb chops. And that would be the most delectable thing.
Now, what made you want to do? You wanted to do it or somebody convinced you?
Well, I wanted to do it like 5 years prior to.
Why'd you want to do it?
Because I felt like I was close. Like my regular body was already close enough to be able to get into that type of shape.
Okay.
Just because I've been an athlete my entire life. I've worked out my whole life. Like I've never not really worked out.
Damn.
So
I feel like such an underachiever around you.
Don't.
I'm itching.
And I think with anything in life, I'm an overachiever. So I want to say like, what else can I do?
I see.
Yeah.
I'm intimidated by overachievers.
No, you're not an overachiever?
Hell to the no. I'm going to get to the bare minimum. Did I make it? Hey, I got out of high school. Did I make it? Oh, I got C's. Cheers.
Great. Cheers to
the goal was to get out. The goal, nobody told me that the goal was to make great, grades. Right. My mother said, graduate. Did it.
Wow. It's all good. That wasn't the same conversation in my house. Excellence or nothing.
You're black excellence all day, every day?
Oh, God, yes. I am totally... My family life is totally the Huxtables. Growing up.
My mama looked at her kids. She had 5, the youngest 5. My mother was like, "Well, good luck to y'all, and whatever you end up being, I'm thankful." She was like,
a good person.
Go on out in the world and good luck. She gave us some pots and pans. Oh, and when I left home, my mama gave me pots and pans. A blanket and an alarm clock, and said, "Good luck."
Wow.
Yep, that's what I got. An alarm clock was get your ass up to get a job. Wow. I had to have some pots and pans to cook.
You can eat.
And then she was like, and you can sleep with this blanket in your car if you ever have a problem. End of story. Bye-bye. Oh, and she always said, always have potatoes in your house. You'll never go hungry. And I said, thank you, Mama. And here I am on a podcast.
Here you go. Your whole nationally syndicated talk of a radio show.
And guess what she says?
What?
I never knew.
Wow.
Never expected that. Thanks, Mama.
Ooh, I couldn't have survived that.
Well, I'm going to do a show called Surviving Pat later. My mama, Surviving Pat's House. Rashan, you know, I love talking to you.
Yes,
you're so
this
great.
is fun.
Let me tell everybody about when Rashan and I, one of the times we met.
Oh, God.
And it was at a party. And I had taken a Delta 8 gummy, which my husband and I, which, by the way, they're one of the sponsors of the podcast.
Really?
Yes. Girl, I love CBD and I love Delta 8.
What?
I do over the counter. I always tell people I don't do illegal drugs. These are over the counter and they work really well. Rashan, what was I like when we met? Was I what did I do? I couldn't sit down. I was gone, wasn't I?
I was like, what's going on with DeDe? Is she okay? Girl, I'm fine. It's the gummy.
It's a gummy. I was like, I'll come in over here in a minute. And let me tell you what it is. I get so paranoid I can't talk to people.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even know. I normally only do it at home.
So what do you enjoy about it then?
I only do it at home.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Generally
only do it at home.
Okay, gotcha.
And I thought I was around. I don't know what I was doing. And it takes 3 hours to kick in.
We were around family.
Yeah, but it takes like 2.5, 3 hours for mine to kick in.
Right. Oh, gosh.
So by the time it kicks in, I forget that I have forgotten that I took it. And I'll be like, oh,
yeah,
shoot.
I did that one time, the Delta 8. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again.
What happened? What did it do?
I forgot. I forgot everything. I was at one music fest like the first day, and then the next day I was talking to somebody and I was like, yeah, girl, you was so funny. And when I saw you, I was like, I saw you? We saw each other. She's like, girl, we had a whole conversation.
See?
I was like, oh, no.
That's what it does.
I ain't doing that.
Oh, I love it.
I don't want to do it.
All right. Before we bring Tamika, before we do this,
okay.
One of the things I noticed on your page, because I follow you again.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I follow you too.
I know. And every time I see you, I'll be like, oh, her life is so wonderful.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that. Don't say it's wonderful. I mean,
you have it all. You have the husband, the kids, the career. You're beautiful. You know, come on.
Those are things. Yeah, I guess.
You have it all? You think you have it all?
Yeah, I've got it. I got a lot of it.
Isn't that great?
I do have a lot of it.
Isn't that a blessing? Isn't that great?
It is. It is.
Is your husband your best friend?
My best friend is my best friend. Her name is Jennifer.
Okay.
My husband is my partner, my buddy, my dog.
Where'd y'all meet?
In college.
Dang, y'all been together that long?
No.
Oh.
We kissed when we were freshmen, but we dated other people. So we started dating after college.
Oh, what happened during college? You was just like,
Well,
the kiss wasn't no good?
I dated a really popular fraternity.
Did he dart in with that tongue? You ever had somebody dart too much? You be
No,
like,
it was a good kiss. It was on. It was good. It was on the stairs of the library, Coleman Library at Florida A&M University.
Oh, you could tell you really like him. You remember where it was?
It was because I always held on to that because he was like the package for me. He was like the thing. He had all the things, but we dated other people and. By the time we got home, I was like, yeah, maybe not. Because he had dated someone who I was very close to. So I was like, yeah.
So are you and her close today, even though you married him?
Yes, we are.
She understood? She let it go?
At the beginning, no.
Oh.
At the beginning, there was a level of understanding, but I knew I wasn't going to risk a friendship if I didn't know that I knew he was my husband.
And
I tried to deny it. I tried to follow the rules that society puts, especially for Black women.
Right.
I can't believe, but
he's your husband.
What if I would have followed the rules that everyone else says you're supposed to follow? I wouldn't be married for 21 years. Just the other night, I was telling Nicole this when we went out to lunch yesterday. I was like, he was like, honey, she's like, he came into the room and he's like, babe, what you doing? I was like, nothing, babe, just come cuddle with me. He's like, oh, and literally we're just cuddling and like fell asleep in each other's arms. Like at 21 years, that's really good. That's a dream. And then we just went out to eat last night. We got the kids, because now they 16, 13. We be out the house. Yeah. Like, hey, we'll be back. And went got a drink at the local bar. You know what I mean? Like we hang out. That's my dope. That's my dude. That's my guy. Yeah. So what if I had followed the rules? I wouldn't be here right now with him with 2 children.
You know, I normally ask people, what makes you so dope? I don't even got to ask you that. Y'all can hear. You can hear why you so
Thank
dope.
you.
You're so great.
Thank you.
You're so awesome. And I want to give you, I'm not going to say flowers because you know what? I was talking to Ryan Cameron. He says he gets tired of people saying flowers. So we need to give everybody what we like. I'm going to give you some Delta 8. I'm giving you your Delta 8s, girl. I ain't giving you no flower. I'm going to give you a whole pot of Delta 8. And I want you to get confused by it too.
I don't know about I forget.
All right. Okay. Listen, let's bring your good friend because y'all are good friends. So can we bring her in? Because I want to talk to her because we were talking about women and working with women.
Yes.
And again, and I'm not trying to down because let me tell you something. I have a foundation for women that I give back scholarships to women who have got derailed from their education. You ever notice that when people go to college and you're in high school, people will give you a scholarship, right? At the age of 17, 18.
Yeah.
But if you're 20, 21, and you've had a baby, maybe you had to take time out from school, or maybe you had to go back home to take care of your parents, and you're 21 or 22, you ever notice nobody ever gives them a scholarship?
Nobody, to try to get things back on track. And all they need is a little hand.
Just a little hand.
Just a little
hand. There's a woman who has 2 kids, right?
Right.
And she says, I want to go back and I want to get my cosmetology license, but I don't have the money because I need a babysitter. I have a foundation that helps women do that, right?
That's dope.
And I give back money for women who want a second chance, right? So I just want to put this out to clarify, I am a friend I love women and I love us as girlfriends, but sometimes it can be difficult.
Yes.
And it's sad that when we have a breakup or a disagreement of women, then everybody wants to go, well, how dare you say you positive about women?
Right,
okay?
right.
So I just want to put that out there before we bring Tamika up.
Right.
Because it goes back to what you were saying. You are a girlfriend. You have a podcast.
Right.
Right? Your podcast is...
The Cool Soror podcast, where I interview women and men in Black Greek letter organizations. But I'm about to transition so that I can broaden it. But I started in that direction because I wanted my own little niche. You know what I mean?
And you're an AKA?
I am.
And so which means that you're in a sorority. You are all about women.
Right.
So I just want to say that before we even bring in Tamika, because I know she's the same way. But I say all that to say that people need to understand we are still proponents of women.
Absolutely.
We love our sisters.
Yes.
But there are times when we have to be real if we're going to be real.
That
if
part
there
too.
are disagreements or it may not be a great working situation.
Right.
So I'm going to bring Tamika in.
Yes.
This is your good friend.
Yes, my girl.
And the reason why I bring her in, because I want to talk about that because they dominated the news. These girl groups always dominate. It's always a situation with a girl group, right?
Yeah.
I was just looking at, In Vogue was on Good Morning America one day, right? And I'm watching and I said, oh, wow, look at them. And they had a new member and it's 3 and it's this. And then you look at Destiny's Child and you look at Escape and you look at SW. There's always some sort of drama. I want to talk about it and why it always happens, right?
Aww,
so Tamika, can you hear us?
Hey, bro. How you... A minute. Hey, baby.
So Tamika, you've been listening to us. And you heard what Rashan was saying, even about Sister Soror, and it was nothing bad about anybody.
Right,
It was about your situation. And some of the stuff that goes on is about other people outside of the group or outside of the show or the clique or whatever it is. Can you explain your situation? First of all, congrats on all your success.
Thank you.
You went solo, right? You're solo now?
No, I'm still in the group. I'm still with Escape.
Girl, are you on?
I have a solo project I'm working on.
Right.
I'm doing both.
All right. First of all, with you doing a solo project and still being in Escape, is that an issue?
No.
Good.
No, I have 100%. They behind me. They back me 100%.
Good
stuff.
Good, right? Isn't that good to know, right?
Yes.
So you guys back you in the group because we were hearing a lot of noise and it's been all over every blog, every radio show is talking about it. Are you guys all good now?
Yeah, we good. Yeah,
okay.
The group, we've always been good since we came back in 2017.
Well, Now, Tamika, now, there's been some stories. Now, come on, let's talk.
You got to read the right stories because me and my girl's good.
All right, but hold on.
You might got the wrong sister.
I know it, but hold on. I'm trying to make sure that you ain't got no problems like the other one, right? No problems.
No, that was my group members. No.
You see what I'm doing, right? I'm doing a sigh of relief because we want to know these kind of things. I know. We want to know these things.
No, we good. When I tell you, like, we're doing shows with only 3 of us right now.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, it's me, Tiny, and Candy.
And they're not mad at you for branching out because your sister said folks got mad because she branched out.
No, I have their 100. They support me. They promote my music. When we do our shows, I get a chance to play my music. It's just 100% support here.
Why is there so much drama, you think, when it has, when there are women that are together, girl groups, whatever? What do you think is the issue?
I don't know. I mean, for us from the beginning, the drama started because we were friends first.
Mm-hmm.
We were like 13, 14 before we started the business. Now, once we got 16, 17 and started doing business together, sometimes it's hard to separate business from friendship, and it spills over, a disagreement or spill over into that. So that's a lot of stuff that happened to us when we were younger. Now that we're older, you know, we disbanded. We disbanded in, what was that? 2000. We came out in 93. And we broke up in 99. Got back together in 2017 and made history. But since we are more mature, a lot of us have matured. A lot of us have learned from our mistakes. You know, a lot of us have known what business is now. You have to wear different hats. You got to wear the personal hat, the business hat. You took the personal hat off when you're in that boardroom.
Right.
And a lot of us had to learn that, and some of us haven't.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that comes division.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. So for you, when you look at this, when you think about the business, is that the worst part about being in this business was, let's just say this, I don't know, the rift that was caused between you and your sister? Is that because of the business, you think?
A lot of it has to do with business. The only time, and it's crazy because the only time that we really argued was when it was business related. Or me and my mom had an argument. Me and my mom never argued because of something that I did or I said, or it was always because of escape business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we had, you know, that's when the problems came in.
Is there something that none of us...
Several times I told my mom, I was like, you know, I don't have to discuss my business with you. You're my mom and I respect you, but I shouldn't have to discuss my business because you're not going to get it. You're not going to understand it. You know, growing up, you have to be loyal. You know, I was taught to be loyal. So whatever my sister wanted to do, I just voted yes because she wanted to do it. And that wasn't necessarily business. And I know that is frustrating to people that's really trying to take care of business when you know you should vote this way, but you're not because you're trying to be loyal to your sister.
Right.
So it took me like a couple of years ago.
Wow.
Well, a couple of months ago, rather, and not a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
To really just say, hey, this is what's best for me. I can't vote this way because you're my family. I have to vote what's right for the business.
Yeah.
Dang, that's
that
tough.
caused problems
Right.
in the family, our family. But
Really? Now, how many people, how many in your family? How many kids in the family? How many did your mom have? How many kids?
Oh, my mom only have 2, but my dad have 6.
Oh, shouts out to daddy. So wait a minute. So you and your sister were the only ones in the household with your mom?
Mm-hmm.
And now, are you guys speaking? Are you guys okay?
We're still not speaking right now.
Oh, man.
But you know, family, you fight, you make up.
Yeah.
It's a fighting period. It's a healing period. It's a makeup period.
Right.
Now, how long has it been since you?
Period.
How long has it been since you guys spoke to each other? You guys have, yeah.
I want to say June.
Okay, so a couple of months then. It's only been a couple of months. Have you guys? What's the longest you've not spoken to your sister? How many months, or has it been a year?
This is the longest.
This is the longest.
Yeah.
It hurts, doesn't it?
Well, do you want me to lie and say it hurt now? I think I'm healed now.
Are you?
Oh, wow.
I went in the beginning, you know, it was hard. It was hard. But, you know, as you pray, God gives you strength, and he also reveals things to you, give you knowledge, give you wisdom, and you got to take what he gives you
Right.
and be able to just roll with the punches. And
Wow.
my steps are being ordered, and I'm just following the lead of God right now.
So when you say that, do you pray for you? Do you also pray for your sister?
I pray for my sister. I pray for my sister's husband.
And what do you pray
for my
for?
mom.
When you pray for them, I'm just curious.
My prayer is that God save them, that they fall in love with God and love him wholeheartedly, because if they do that, then they're going to treat me right.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's my prayer. My prayer is for God to keep them safe, and to bring them the knowledge of if they hurt somebody, let them hold themselves accountable and know how to fix it.
See, and that's important.
That's
the only
good.
reason why I ask that is because everybody will always say, you know, I talked to God or I prayed to God, and they're praying from their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you got to also pray and ask God to reveal
it's not
things.
even about me
Mhm.
anymore. You know, it's not even about me. It's about my sister and her being able to be happy with who she is and be able to take care of herself and my nephew. It's bigger than just me and her relationship. This is a life at stake. It's her life. It's her livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my sister, she put out a dope gospel album, which
Yeah.
was our deal together. that she stole, but we're gonna leave that for another day.
Look at Rashan.
Gospel album. I'm telling you, it was the message behind it, the singing, incredible, and it didn't do as she wanted to do. It was our album. So it's like, it don't feel good for people I do interviews and they like, how I feel your sister album to sell. Like, I never want nothing wrong. I want my sister I want her to prosper. I want her to live the life that God intended for all of us to live. Because she and I don't see eye to eye. I don't wish no hard feelings on her and her husband. Even the stuff that he's done and the lies that he said, I don't even wish harm to them. I just want them to get it right for themselves. And for my family.
Right, that's good.
So what about your nephew? You mentioned, do you have a relationship with him and do you get to see him even though you and your sister are beefing?
No.
Oh, man. I hate to hear that.
He stays, he was playing basketball in Buffalo. He was going to school in Buffalo. He's playing basketball. But every now and then I send him a text. I sent him a text not too long ago. I love you. I cash app him some money every now and then. Hey, TT, love you. So the love is there. The love is not going anywhere. My daughter, she texted him, Ocean texted him the other day, I love you. We're family. So the texting is still going on. It's not going to stop. The love is going to always be there.
That's good.
Always.
Isn't it?
That's good. Tamika, do you ever get tired of like addressing this now? I mean, you're very open, but it has to it has to hurt. Do you? Yeah. How do you make sure that you cope going into pretty much every interview that you know that this is going to come up?
Sometimes I deflect it. But I feel like this is safe. Shawnee's here, and I know Shawnee she has my best interest at heart, so I feel comfortable in this space.
Right.
I feel comfortable talking to her because I know it's not a bash thing. It's
right.
How are you feeling? How's your mental health? I really feel that coming from y'all.
Yeah, that's
other
beautiful.
People, I just, I deflect it and just say, hey, I'm praying.
Yeah,
and I can open up to y'all because it's not a bashing.
No,
thing,
right?
No,
and a lot of people. How can you throw your sister under the bus? How can y'all do this? It happened.
It does.
First of all, I never threw her under the bus. The division happened, and it is what it is. But there's nothing I can do about it right now.
Right.
I
it's sad though.
Make sure that my mental health is good.
Yeah.
I gotta say, for me watching
for my family,
right.
Tamika, I was gonna say for me watching. I'm the youngest of 5. I have 2 sisters, and I'm very close to my sisters, right? And so it's just hard for me to watch and I've had moments where I've had times where I was mad at my sister and didn't talk to her for a couple of weeks. Right. But it was never public. And for you, unfortunately, it has to be public. People like you said, they'll judge, they'll have comments to make. They're nasty. They're this. The reason why I was asking is just I can only imagine what it must feel like because it's not just between you two either. You have your mom, you have, you have a nephew, you have a child who, wants to see their cousin, their auntie. You get what I'm saying? Like it's so much deeper than what we're all looking at. Everybody's just seeing it as a group. Like we're all looking at, there's a group and they're having issues. And look at their sisters, that's horrible. But they don't realize it's deeper than that. So again, I'm thankful that you trust us and trust me. And I know you know Rashan really well. So thank you for that. I wasn't trying to, not trying to exploit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But people want to know. And I mean, and then you're so open, which is, I'm grateful because you've always been that way. You've never hidden behind anything. So I just think that speaks to who you are and it speaks to your character and your belief in God and letting God lead you. So we just,
Yeah.
I love you, babe.
What's next? To me, what's next though? What do you think is going to be next for you in the group and your solo career, your sister? Tell me, what do you think is next for you? What do you see?
Well, I want to say we're still doing shows. I don't know if people understand why it's only 3 of us. My sister decided not to do any more shows. Her husband, which is her manager, told our manager that she was booked up for the whole year and that she wasn't going to be able to do shows with us. So from that, we were like, okay, she's not going to work, but we're still going to work. And we continue to work even now. This is still the year that he says that she's booked up and she hasn't joined us on any shows before anything ever happened, before, it was division between the girls. Because at first it was just me and my sister at it. And then all of a sudden it was her and the other girls from things that her husband said, interviews that were said and things, lies that were told. So, her pulling herself back or him pulling her back, that was their decision. But we figured it out, And at first we were like, we don't know how the fans going to receive us because y'all know my sister, she is a voice.
Baby.
Right.
That thing,
Baby.
When I tell you,
Sing down.
She blow.
See, and this is what I like about a sister. Wait, hold on a second. I want everybody to pay attention to. She gave her sister her flowers and love. You see that?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. But go ahead. I love that.
Yeah. She sing down.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, who's going to sing her parts? So, Tiny and I, we both, Tiny will do Softest Place on Earth. I'll do Who Can I Run To?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll do Understanding. And Tiny will do Just Kicking It. Like, we just trade off on it. And so the first time we did the show, I don't know if the audience felt like they wasn't going to get a good show. It's like they didn't expect much, but we got to stand an ovation.
Oh, nice.
And our shows have been selling out.
Good.
The arenas been selling out.
That's great.
New York, did a show in New York, it's sold out. So it's like the people, they're showing us that they still love us and they're enjoying the singing because we're giving our all. Like, I'm singing like I ain't never sung before.
I love it.
I was like, I didn't know I could hit that note. So
okay, so there's the beauty. There is the beauty in this, though, Tamika.
Made diamonds, baby, because we be singing down now.
Come on.
But you know what? I'm thinking that's the beauty of this, right? It's normally people always think that they're getting ready to do you wrong or whatever, but it's like you're making me rise to the occasion and you're bringing something out in me that I never knew I had. So thank you. Actually, you got to thank people. I told somebody recently, some people on my morning show, they left my show or whatever it is, and I said, you know what? I can thank them. You know why? Because it helped me become even better. And I found out ways that I can elevate myself or the show, or I can, I now know how to react to certain situations. So you got to see there's always a blessing in whatever it is. So you just said, look, you didn't elevate it. You're singing, girl. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister, for doing what you did. I appreciate you. In a roundabout way, you helped me. You said something real quick. I'm going to let you guys, I know, and we're getting long because I can talk along and everything else. Is your husband your manager?
No.
Is your husband involved in the business?
His own career. He do his own thing, but he's definitely my best friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rashan,
look at it.
I love it.
He is. So is Smitty. I know. I love them so much. They are so cute together. They are. It's all me and Smitty, but I just had.
Is your husband? I know. Wait. Is your husband? Is he in the business? Does he work with you as your manager?
He is a teacher.
Okay.
And a coach.
Let me ask you then. Would you, Rashan, do you believe or do you think there should be separation between your husband being your manager and being involved in your business at all? Would you ever do it? Or do you think, because remember, Wendy Williams had the same situation with her husband.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No.
No?
We can't even, it's hard for us to even work out together. That's why I'm going back to my old trainer.
Me and my husband, we can't do it. We fight all day, every day. I'll be like, no.
Right. I love him, but that ain't
He can't
that ain't
be the
it.
manager?
No.
Okay. What about you, Tamika?
Well, I get advice. I get a lot of advice from my husband. My husband, he's not biased. He's very, like, when I'm wrong, he tell me. And I love that about him. There's a lot of times he's you shouldn't have said it like that, or you shouldn't have did it like that, or try it like this the next time. Like, he don't have no problems telling me when I'm wrong, but not in front of people. But as far as like wisdom, he's been in the industry for a long time.
Okay.
But he has his own career. He just came back from Germany. Is it Germany?
Wow.
He was in the UK and France. Like, he got his own thing that he do, girl. And then when he come back, he got to work with me. So he out of town with me before he go be with his next client. But yeah, we work together. But as far as like making decisions, I make my own decisions. I have my own brain. And that's what he love about me.
Okay. Let me ask you my last question.
And that good food you be cooking too.
Oh, you can cook?
What?
Tamika, you can cook.
Can she cook?
Cook, baby. I throws down,
baby,
on the grill, in the kitchen, in the oven,
all of
you
it.
Name it, I do it.
Okay, so do we have a cooking show? You have a cooking show?
I have a cookbook out called Table Set Cooking with Tamika Scott. I've been on Good Morning America. I've been cooking everywhere.
Well, we need a show.
She has her own seasonings that I use all the time at my house. Yes.
Tamika Scott Southern Fuse. You can go to southernfuse.com to get my book and my seasonings. It's
okay.
No, Dee Dee, the seasonings are so good. It was so fun. I'm going to tell you this real quick. I know we got to run. Smitty was like, hey, this Tamika, that vegetable seasoning, man, that shit good. Because I got like the whole, when you had your event, I got the whole thing. And I use your seasoning. They're so good.
I'm going to have to get him, Tamika. Let me tell you, the husband and I were doing that. We were doing a lot of, because, there's a lot of celeb, like I have Bobby Brown seasoning. Y'all know Bobby Brown has seasonings?
I ain't know that.
I did. I swear to, look, you went, I don't know that.
I don't know. I ain't know. He did?
It's decent.
Okay.
And then, all of them have like liquor and stuff. So my husband and I were testing a lot of the celebrity ones. So I'm going to test yours. I want to see.
So good.
Yes,
is it really good?
Do. Listen, I created these in my kitchen. And then I sat down with a food scientist to make it like legit.
No, it's very good.
I mean, I brought it home, cooked with it, changed the recipe a little bit, gave it out to some influencers, allowed them to cook with it, got their responses back, and baby,
So
Come on.
good.
Got so diffused was born. I'm putting the taste of the South in your mouth.
Well, look,
you, baby.
Tamika, I think you need a podcast, a show. Nicole, you got another job, my producer. Nicole, look, Nicole,
Right.
you got a producer. You got to produce hers now. Okay. Well, listen, real quick before you go, one piece of advice you would give a woman, any girl that's listening to the podcast, and by the way, the radio show, because it's going on the radio show too. What piece of advice would you give somebody who wants to start or be in a girl group? What one piece of advice would you tell them?
Well, I'm gonna give you several advices. The first advice I'm gonna say is to go get my new song featuring Method Man.
Come on, girl, promote now. Come on.
Celebrating yourself. And I want to tell y'all to learn to celebrate yourself. We can give ourselves so much to people, and they will take. They will drain your energy. They will drain you. They will drain you financially, physically, mentally, spiritually. People will drain you, and they won't even deposit nothing back into you. So I have a new song out about tonight, and tonight is saying, you know what? Tonight I'm gonna just take out the day, and I'm gonna celebrate me. I'm not worried about no bills. Ain't worried about no husband, no wives, no children, no school. I'm going to celebrate me. This is my time. So tonight is that night.
Yes.
So I want to tell people, self-care is very important.
Man.
Make sure you take care of you, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of
nobody else. Right. I love it. Tamika, I was going to say, what makes you dope? Girl, I already see. Every and anything, girl. You are that chick. I love it. Thank you so much.
She's a positive person.
Isn't she? I love it.
Love you, Meek.
You know
Love
what?
you, boo.
I love, can I tell you, I love Rashan. That's your girl right here. She's a positive
That's my girl.
chick. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, look, that's my ninja. That's my ninja. I don't know who love her the most, me or my husband. I love her. That's our girl.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. Hey, real quick, before you go, let everybody know how can they follow you online?
The Real Tamika Scott IG, The Real Tamika Scott, I have a Facebook, not Facebook, I'm sorry, YouTube channel. Let me tell y'all better go subscribe and like, because I got some stuff on there that y'all want to see, behind the scenes stuff with me and my group. I'm telling you, some really good stuff. That's The Real Tamika Scott. I'm on Threads, y'all.
Oh, yes.
The Real Tamika Scott. And X, known as Twitter, I am official T Scott.
Okay.
So follow me, get my song, download it, add it to your playlist tonight. Tamika Scott featuring Method Man. You can go on YouTube to see the video.
I saw
the video
it.
was shot in New York. It's hot, it's spicy. Y'all go ahead and listen to my song and celebrate yourself.
Yeah,
Yes.
we saw when you were filming that video with Method Man. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, she got Method Man.
Listen.
With his fine butt. All right.
He is.
Didn't he do it? Y'all? Look, can we clap it up and give it to him?
He grew up real nice.
Didn't he? And I love it for him too.
Yes.
Okay, Rashan, let everybody know how they follow you and the podcast, everything.
All the things. Rashan Ali. I'm Rashan Ali everywhere. You can follow the podcast at just go to coolsoulworld.com or RashanAli.com. Real easy.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for coming
Thank you. This was great.
And doing this with me. Second season of DeDe's Dope Podcast. You can hear all of this on the radio, on the podcast every week. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
We'll talk to you then. It's DeDe